It is futile.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?
I was...
Look again.
I was...
Look again. Freeze it.
This...
Programs. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one.
We have survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers. Someone is going to have to fight them.
Someone.
I won't lie to you, Neo. Every single man or woman who has stood their ground, everyone who has fought an agent has died. Where they have failed, you will succeed.
Why?
I've seen an agent punch through a concrete wall. Men have emptied entire clips at them and hit nothing but air. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. They will never be as strong or as fast as you can be.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
Okay. One of the most, is it still running? I don't know if it's still running. That was one of the most simplistic explanations of why it's futile to try to wake someone else up. Our own process is volatile. We go through years and different things unraveling. And, you know, we're all different and when we're ready and trying to do that can get you killed, for lack of better words, okay? Trigger warning there. And even as this, what we experience may not be as literal as the Matrix movie, there's parts of me that's beginning to feel otherwise. It's not as different as we might think it is. Okay? We already know the intelligence of the human mind being likened to that of a computer and all of this other stuff. Who's to say? We got all of the information. We just all are here believing what we have all been told. Okay. And I'm not here to push propaganda. This is for the viewer. You see my disclaimers in the notes. And this is for any of you who are possibly in stage 1 or 2 of taking that red pill and your whole system is frayed um, because of it. So you got to walk through. It's hard. We have people we love. We have people we're fond of. We have people we're familiar with and we grew up with. I got the battle wounds and scars on me right now because I still held on to the common humanity and things like that, thinking that that's a thread that everyone carries and holds no matter what changes of life. And it's not, because if you're someone who's waking up, then the system has already, dinged you, pinged you, flagged you, and the system being the powers that be, however you need to equate to it. Okay. So we talked about how systems play on subconscious things, play on your programming, play on all of those things, and then present to get you or someone who's still plugged in, to get them to basically become the Judases of families, friendships, connections, whether they are conscious, aware of it or not. Because as Morpheus just said, at any time an agent can hack that head, if they're still plugged in, if they're still controllable. And we talked about MK Ultra, B2K, all these other things that some of you are starting to do your own studies and research about. And that means whether humanity is ready to accept that, well, we all okay. And this was just a little clip I wanted to. I love using movies and things that I feel like are relevant. I'm talking about it. I'm not the only one doing this, but this is me on my platform and channel sharing that. And it's short enough to keep the attention span, because I have a tendency to go long, as I go big or go home, but sometimes it's less that's more. And that has the power to stick, because you can hold somebody's attention. Okay, play with that and put all of your energy. It's not that you all of a sudden start hating the world. It's almost a matter of your survival and preservation, because Neo being pulled by the pretty girl with the red dress is a classic example of what we're all kind of on some level vulnerable to, and that just represents pleasure. Doesn't have to necessarily be sexual, but comfort, pleasure. And I reckon that woman is possibly Neo's dream girl. Okay, in terms of the perfect body, the perfect shape, the perfect hair color, everything could be his fantasy, which would have more weight to pull him from his healing and transcendence. Okay, in some of our cases, it wouldn't be a woman, it would be an Escalade with gold rims. You know what I'm saying? uh, because like I said, it's just simply about pleasures and comforts. And as you're trying to focus and walk and learn and train and go against the grain, because remember, they were walking opposite direction of the crowd, and it was all this busyness. They was walking across in front of him. Sounds familiar? Targeted individuals walking across, walking in circles, making noise, barking, shouting. Police there, mad dogging them. Like it was the whole gambit. Okay, because they were going to a beat of a different drum. They were going down a different path other than the herd. And so here comes the woman to pull him to go what? Back into the direction that everyone else is going. To pull him what? Back into the matrix system of control. To pull him what? Out of remembering who he is. To pull him what? To continue to be loosed and harvested, never knowing his own identity and power, lulled to sleep, to be pulled and what? Okay. And we all have a version of that. Viewer discretion is advised. I suggest with everything, be as grounded and practical and a grain of salty as you can. That includes for me or anyone else, because we all have our unique signature, our unique variables and things like that. Okay. I'm not proposing you all go out there and start hating everybody and going around talking about I'm Neo and that's not what this is. This is awareness. that may save your life. Okay? It's futile. The best thing that Neo can do as he's being trained with Morpheus is continue to work out your own unraveling of this rabbit hole, because you may hold some keys later down the road. But if you go follow that lady in that red dress, it's going to feel good. You're going to have a party. It's going to be a dream come true, turn nightmare that you don't know that you're in until it's too late by the time you figure out that that's what you did. And we all can attest to that. We trusted somebody, landed in a shelter, that it was a trap. We trusted, a family member. We found out that they were selling us out to some weirdos and some children of the corn. Whatever, because we was looking for comfort. We was looking for familiarity while waking up and dealing with people that we knew full well aren't. And in the name of trying to pull on having them validate your pain, they're never going to validate our pain. They're not going to validate. They'll smile at you and sit and offer you, some stuff so you can sit there and bleed loose. In some cases, so they can feel better and superior and have something to talk about. Okay? As to continue to numb out the truths that they refuse to face about themselves. It's a clip on distractions, and we all have them. And we don't have it all figured out, and we don't master it entirely. We just continue to master being mastery, ever unfolding, strengthening it. And that's because of the nature of what we're in. That's why. Okay. Make sure you got plenty convoluted. And God forbid, if you're a parent, that's the bread and butter of, because what can you do? If you don't have any children, they might be even more terrified of you. Okay. Because at some point, it's like, well, what they got. What they got. If you don't have no children, it's like, yeah, okay. So it's like the last leg is, if you're a decent parent, then they really gonna lean real hard and strong on that to keep you low, to sleep and dull, and all of that. Hence, ergo, the very last Matrix that was created, Matrix Resurrection. Okay, where the story was flipped, and Trinity, her weakness, this time it was flipped. He was getting a clue first, and she wasn't. Okay. And they played on her motherhood and her roles and the script given to her and her maternal thread and maternal trance and all of that stuff to really get her to doubt and stuff. So I'm not implying you neglect your parentalhood. I'm implying you get creative so that you can add sovereign parentalhood, because it's more than, in my humble opinion, it's so much deeper. The basics is, the shelter and, the stability, but stability is often tainted and compromised by energies and beings who are hell-bent on control systems, and that it puts some of us in harm's way. Some of us got energetically sensitive. Like my son has an open receiver, putting him in a cesspool. That's not meant to be disrespectful, but it's meant to be honoring. Just like if we knew someone with a compromised immune system or has some kind of immune deficiency, like the boy in the bubble type vibe, then the protocol is like to make sure that they're not in a contaminated space. That's not obsession. That's not being mean. That's An observation, this environment is not good. This environment is making them sick. They can't be exposed, you know what I'm saying, to, and the powers that be want them exposed because that's the suffering loose. Yes, your children, while they act like they care and pump poison through their veins and make you kiss their feet for saving your child as they put poison in their veins when they are behind why it's there and there could have been another way. Mm, I think that's something. But anyway, that's that. That's all. It's futile. Reallocate that energy, and you can do the process of grieving. You're going to go through all this, sovereign grief. Someone said to me the other day, grieving what you thought was real, because that's like the biggest head fuck of all time. you know that none of it is real. They don't really care. They not really for you like that. They was willing to hurt you to save their own ass. It's and allowing yourself to go through that. But believe it or not, honoring that, giving yourself some private space for that is also going to help foster and reinforce your strength to eliminate distraction and other routes, other options, because we all go through this process. Okay, it's not a little neat and tidy little book, with bullet points and things of that nature. Okay, that's it. That's that. And that's all. Yay! I actually didn't spend forever, ever on this video. May it activate a frequency powerful enough to strengthen you on your unraveling. However, the bloody, gory process of it. Another energy, a masculine energy that keeps coming to my mind, and things they say is like I concur. I concur. This is not going to be like coffee and conferences and sipping tea. Although I wish it was that soft, feminine, floaty, fairy, version of me. Wish that that's something, but that's not. Okay, it's not. It's not doomed though. I want to leave it on that note. This information is not doomed. It's just coming with a lot of stuff that's not pretty. Okay? All right. May you be well as you navigate through your version of hell. Okay? Namaste.